Imagine you've decided to open up shop as a private investigator. You build a sleek website offering surveillance and skip tracing services and push it live. You haven't taken a single case yet, and you haven't accepted a dime. Under Florida's Chapter 493, you've already crossed the legal wire. The statute clearly defines a private investigator as anyone who performs or advertises private investigation for consideration. The moment you publicly offer the service for pay, the state's licensing requirement kicks in. Curious, you might assume the state police or a legal board enforces that requirement. Instead, you answer to the Department of Agriculture and Consumer Services, specifically its Division of Licensing. Putting investigators under a consumer services department reveals exactly how Florida views the profession. The law treats private investigation as a strictly monitored commercial industry, where misleading the public is a severe offense. This diagram shows the boundaries of what Florida legally considers private investigation. The statute lists 7 categories. Investigating crimes against the government requires express written authority from an official. Other categories include digging into witness credibility or determining the cause and origin of fires and property damage. If you gather information in any of these 7 areas in exchange for money without a license, you are operating an illegal business. To operate legally within that space, Florida uses a rigid classification system of single and double letters to organize its practitioners. There is a foundational rule you have to know. Holding an individual investigator's license does not give you the right to hang a shingle and take clients on your own. This chart illustrates the legal chain of command. The Class C license belongs to the working investigator. Below them is the Class CC Intern, who must be actively sponsored. Ultimately, both must be employed by a Class A agency. The law does make one specific exception for gathering information. A one-time tipster with unique access isn't classified as a private investigator, provided they operate strictly under the direct control of a Class C licensee. Florida's legal hierarchy outlaws the Hollywood myth of the rogue detective working entirely off the grid. Every legal move an investigator makes has to trace back up the chain of command to a licensed agency umbrella. If the job requires a weapon, Chapter 493 requires an additional step. You must obtain a Class G license, a specific add-on that allows an investigator to bear a firearm during regulated work. But state permission to carry the weapon comes with an absolute restriction. Under no circumstances are firearms permitted to be carried openly on duty. This timeline reveals a hidden architectural pattern in the law, the 2 and 3 rule. The top track shows the working individual licenses, the C, CC, and G, renewing every 2 years. The bottom track, for permanent business entities, renews every 3 years. To maintain these boundaries, the Division of Licensing holds immense enforcement power. They do not wait around for a disgruntled client to file a complaint. The division has the statutory authority to initiate investigations entirely on their own initiative. Their reach extends equally across the board to both licensed professionals and unlicensed citizens acting illegally. Chapter 493 is an actively policed perimeter. The state is constantly monitoring the industry for boundary violations. Once you hold a license, there are several fast ways to lose it. The statute explicitly lists prohibited acts, including committing fraud, employing unlicensed workers, or the willful betrayal of a professional client's secret. But the state reserves its harshest penalties for impersonating law enforcement. Florida law issues an absolute ban on using a badge during investigative work. You only need your state-issued photo ID card and your license. Even subtly implying an affiliation with a police agency is treated as a direct threat to the public and serves as a fast track to severe disciplinary action. Florida's Chapter 493 strips away the romanticized myth of the freewheeling detective. It replaces that fiction with a highly structured, fiercely accountable business framework where knowing your legal boundaries is just as critical as solving the case.